Good afternoon. Welcome to our live stream. Today we're going to talk about historical figures. So we're covering 4 different historical figures, and this is a conversation lesson for us to be able to practice English. For those of you who do not know me, I'm Jen, English with Jen, floating so cleverly underneath me. There you go. And I come here on YouTube every week, at least twice, on Tuesdays with a quiz. And today is Wednesday, so it's a full, at least 1 hour lesson where we cover vocabulary, conversation questions, phrasal verbs, idioms. We communicate with each other. And so, yeah, it's a really, really nice environment. If you are looking for a place to come and practice your English in a nice community, join us live every week or watch the replay, and please share your thoughts and opinions. Hello, Alessio, in the comments. I'm Jen. I will get rid of this. At some point, it drives me crazy. So I think if it drives me crazy, it's probably driving you crazy too. But maybe I'm projecting. Anyway, if you don't already follow me, you can find me here. Should you choose, wish, whatever, to follow me. I am so not a good salesperson. Hello, Serena, dear. And I wanted to thank you all because something very, very, very cool yesterday happened to me. I am a freak about my statistics. So I'm a freak about my statistics on Instagram. Hello, Lorena, darling. I'm a freak about my statistics here on YouTube, especially because I'm working really hard to try to get monetized here. And the way that you get monetized on YouTube is if you have enough followers and if enough people watch your content. And you folks, hello to you, Demethu, hello to you, Yuki, and you folks, you've done it. You're pretty gosh darn cool because, hello, Dan, is because look at this. Hold on, actually, let me get rid of this statistic. But every day I go into YouTube and I can check every single video, and I can see in my dashboard here, I don't know if you can see that so well, how many people watched something, when they stopped watching, and every day so up here, it shows you how many people followed you. And so I look at that every morning. Hello, Mohammed. Check your email inbox. Okay, I will do. if you wrote me, I'll have to look and see. Yes, I will. And every day I check my email. I check my inbox here and my statistics. And so yesterday, because I have earned 3,000 watch hours, I come into the second phase now of potentially being monetized on Instagram. So the first hurdle is you need I think 1,000 followers. That happened a while ago. And you need 500 or so watch hours, I think, or 1,000. And now the next hurdle is 3,000. And I got 3,050 or something as of yesterday. And then they take a look at your account and they decide, is this a quality account? Is this a person who's, I guess, doing propaganda kind of material? I don't know what it is, but it says that in 2 to 3 days, or maybe 2 to 3 weeks, I can find out whether the first step towards monetization can happen. And when I reach another 1,000 hours, reach 4,000 watch hours, I could be earning money for the first time since 2021. So, yoo-hoo! Thank you to all of you who show up here and watch stuff and rewatch stuff and like stuff and comment. I say this from the bottom of my heart. I love, love, love. Hello to you, Lizette. I love being here for you. And I'm so happy that we have this amazing community and that you show up. Hey, Carmen, as well. And participate. And because without you all coming here and doing this, then I would just be talking to myself, and I would really honestly find that very boring. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm close to being monetized. Peter thinks it's my big crazy dream, this is never gonna happen, but I'm here to show him I only need 1,000 more watch hours. So when you watch videos, when you come back and watch them, it counts. Thank you. When you watch replays, when you catch this not even live. Anyway, so I had to just say this because I was so excited. I nearly fell off my chair yesterday when I saw that I had reached 3,000. I thought it would be like in a week or so, but boom, it just happened. So well deserved. Thank you. Thank you for sharing your time with us, especially teaching new things about English every week. My pleasure. This is my dream come true. I remember back in 2014, 15, I'm like, I want a big community, an international community, something exactly like this. I couldn't have dreamt it. I didn't know what I was looking for. But this is it. This is my absolute dream come true, and you're all a part of it. So thank you. We did it. So I'm really, really happy. Thank you. Thank you everyone for your support. Honestly, I love this community. I know I talk about, oh, I need to be bigger, but at the end of the day, the right people are here, right? I mean, we have the best people in this community. We're learning English. We're learning about other cultures. We're connecting with each other. What more do I want? Well, okay, but I love this. So anyway, so let's hop into our first poll question for the day. And I just wanted to share that good news with you because I just was so excited. All right, let me move myself over here. Let me find the one that's going to be that. That is phrases, and that is Mike. Where is poll? Anyway, let's pull up our first slide for today. I hope everyone is doing well. And yeah, so what is that? Historical. Okay, I have to scroll down a little bit here. Here we go. And our first slide of the day, we have a nice little poll question. I will plop myself over here, nice and dainty. Okay, so if you could live in the time of any historical figure, which would it be? Would it be in ancient Egypt with Cleopatra? Would it be in Renaissance Italy with Leonardo da Vinci? Would it be in the 18th century with France with Marie Antoinette? And D, Victorian England with Queen Elizabeth. So which period would you want to live in? Let me know. My other online teacher said she will subscribe to your channel because I told her how hardworking you are. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So yeah, if she has a channel, let me know. I would like to subscribe to it as well. Okay, folks, so what can you tell me? Which time period would you like to live in? And maybe it's not one specific time, like, because I know for myself, the clothing from Marie Antoinette, I would love that. That would be amazing. But Renaissance Italy kind of sounds pretty cool too. So I would like to combine it. And ancient Egypt, I'm not so sure. Maybe, maybe not. Let me know why you're answering the way you are. And Victorian England, I think not. I think it was probably really dirty. That's what I think. I don't know. It seems kind of dirty and depressing to me. I probably don't know enough about it. So let me know. And Dan, yes, I see that you're saying ancient Greece. If you have another time period you would like to live in, let me know. Ancient Greece with Greek gods and goddesses. So Lorena, you're saying B, so with Leonardo, or D, with Queen Victoria during that time. I can live as a celebrity in C. Yes. I wonder what celebrities were like. I don't really know what they did. I don't know if it was like today where it was singers and painters and things like that. Itoko, you're saying B, Renaissance Italy with Leonardo. And if you have another answer, feel free to offer it. I'm also kind of curious why you would answer that. Like, I don't think I would want to live so much in ancient Rome. It feels too aggressive, but maybe that's just because I just associate ancient Rome and gladiatorial games. Maybe that's unfair. So, Renaissance Italy near home. Okay. Yes, not going too far away. B, it seems relaxing. Okay, Renaissance Italy, relaxing, lots of innovation going on, maybe. I don't really know enough about these. So this is just a fun sort of thing to kind of get us started for today. There's clearly not a right or a wrong answer. It's a matter of opinion. Okay. So let's take a look and heading on to, oops, hold on. Every time this always goes away. I'm still so buzzing that I have 3,000 watch hours. It's so cool. All right, sorry. Trivia. I need to, okay, let's see. I will just move and then we will figure it out from there. So let's see. Dan, I think B, I'm so curious about Leonardo da Vinci. I've read the book, The Da Vinci Code. I read that too. I thought it was so fun. I won't be invited to dance parties at the palace. Oh no. Oh, I want to be. Sorry, I thought you said I won't be. I want to be. Yes, have those beautiful gowns and all of that silk and the beautiful hair. I think it's so pretty. So Mohammed, you said B as well, Renaissance Italy. Hello, Sakura, darling. You said D, which, hold on, what was D again? D, I think, was Victorian England. Why D? I'm curious. I'm curious for those of you who say Victorian England. For me, it doesn't really sound appealing. Convince me. I want to know. I'm curious to hear what you think. Why that? Why there? Me too with Yuki, right? Dancing, I just think the costumes, the gowns. Okay, let's say this. When we live in these time periods, we're rich, all right? Because I think like to be poor in this time, horrible, horrible. So in my fantasy, in all of these time periods, I am filthy rich. And filthy is actually another word for dirty. But we say this quite often with rich, filthy rich, meaning totally, completely rich. It means dirty, but it also means, in this case, completely rich, filthy rich. So filthy rich in that last time period. Okay, so Yuki, the Buckingham Palace of King Charles, just held a tea party. Okay, fun. I didn't know that. Okay, so we're starting today with Leonardo. A lot of you chose to live during his time period. Anything that you can think about in regards to Leonardo, let me know. Let's find out what you know and educate each other. Like I have said before, I am not a historian. My knowledge is very limited. So please, we are here to educate each other. This is not a presentation. So whatever you know about him, let me know. Let's see. So, okay, and I have some things also to add. He was the inventor of planes. Okay, he was an engineer. Mona Lisa, filthy rich, of course. Yes, we're all filthy rich in this, our little fantasy time periods here. Mona Lisa. Okay. Anything else that you can tell me that you know about him? He lived, of course, in Renaissance Italy. From 1452 to 1519. So he lived during that time period. He was an artist, Lizette says. He was a genius. Wow. Tea party. Okay, at the palace. Yes. So all of these things, a couple of extra things that I can share with you is that maybe you've probably read this before. Dan, what do you have to say? I only know he's a painter. Okay. He drew the Vitruvian Man. So you see this man who's almost naked, I think. I don't know, but he drew the Vitruvian Man, and I think this just to show the perfection in the body, the symmetry, I think, the perfect geometry of the physical form. He painted The Last Supper as well. The Sistine Chapel, or that was Michelangelo? That was Michelangelo. Okay, I'm outing myself. Okay, this is what I've written down for him, okay? You can find it in Milan. So The Last Supper. Oh, really? Oh, cool. Okay. Well, when I come and meet you in Milan, then I definitely want to go see The Last Supper. I guess you have to get tickets months in advance. The Last Supper is Milan. Okay, cool. All right. Other things that are pretty interesting about Leonardo is that when he wrote, he didn't write like we do, so that the letters go a specific way. So if you're in the Western world, it goes this way. In Japan, how does it go? It goes up and down, I think, right? Or down? I'm not sure. Let me know, guys. Hitoko and Yuki, please. And in Arabic, Muhammad, let me know. It's not from left to right, it's from right to left. But even if you're writing that in the letters and the characters of whichever direction you read, still, he wrote his letters backwards. So if you write an E like this, he wrote it like this. If you write an F like this, he wrote it like that. So he wrote everything in mirror script, so everything was backwards. I think that's kind of interesting. He designed tanks, as someone already mentioned, flying machines, kind of like an airplane, scuba suit. So like to go diving, to have like this helmety thing on your head and to be able to breathe underwater. That was 400 years ago, just to put that into perspective. He also left hundreds of inventions in his notebooks that we've never been able to make. He completed only 15 paintings during his lifetime, so I would have thought many more. But evidently only 15 paintings. I would not be able to name them all. I know that one of his paintings was sold pretty recently as like the most expensive painting ever sold. Arabic is from right to left, okay? Up and down. So up and down and right to left. Ooh, so both. So up and down and my right to left. Okay, that's so interesting. I need to watch a video about that. That sounds so cool. My daughter's school is Liceo da Vinci, and she has a lot of shirts with the Vitruvian Man logo. It looks cool. It really does. Hey, Omar, welcome, dear. No worries for being late. You know what I say? Better late than never. So let's see. Also, this is kind of interesting. He was illegitimate. So if someone is illegitimate, then that means he was married to someone who was not married. So illegitimate, oh gosh, I can't see and I can't type. Illegitimate. I think that's right. I can't really see, but something like that. So this is a person who is married to someone who is not married. Sorry, somebody who was born to someone who is not married is illegitimate. And he was self-taught in many subjects, so he didn't go to school to learn all of these things. He just kind of learned it on his own. In Venice, you can see his drawings of planes. Secure, I didn't know that. I was in Venice several years ago and did not see that. And nice little vocab word, which I will tell you now because it's going to be a vocab word in just a minute. He was a polymath. He was a painter, an inventor, a scientist, and an autonomist. So dealing with the body, I think that there's, reports of him that he would go to graveyards and he would take a look and open up and dissect bodies to be able to find out more about how the musculature worked in a human body and where the organs were and how things worked. And that was in a day and age where people didn't do that. That was weird. And I guess it's weird today too, but he was trying to be scientific about it, not strange. Okay. But just as Hitoko said nowadays, from left to right. Okay, so left to right. Okay, thank you. I didn't see that Hitoko said that. Thank you. Okay, so those are some things about him, which I think he's a pretty fascinating character. So let's see. I have some vocabulary related to him. And curious to see which of these are new for you. Let's see. And let's boogie. All right, to number 3. And I hope this is correct. Yes, it is. I just need to move myself over to here and voila, doo-doo. Okay, so we have our Vitruvian Man there as a doll that we can use for drawing. All right, so we have invention, anatomy, curiosity, masterpiece, and polymath. Okay, so Our definitions. I will read this here because I cannot see. A, a strong desire to learn or know something. B, a great work of art or something done with great skill. C, a new thing that someone makes. D, the study of body parts and how they are put together. And E, a person who knows a lot about many different subjects. So which one works best with number one? I think this is a pretty easy word for all of us. I'm curious to hear to see which of these words are new. Yeah, and okay. So one, Dan, you're saying is C. C. From Serena, let's see. Let's see if it's C. Lizette saying C, Lorena saying C. I'm sure it's C. So invention number one, a new thing that someone makes, right? So something that's new, that's discovered, they come up with the invention of the cell phone, the invention of an airplane, all of these different things. I think years ago on EWA, I did a live stream about inventions. That could be a fun one to do. I've not done that. I don't think I've done that in a long time. I have the problem that once I have covered something, it's gone. And so like sometimes I'm like, oh, I want to do this. And then I'm like, oh, you did that 3 months ago. You can't do that. So it's like, it's Groundhog Day with me. Once it's gone, it's gone. Okay, Serena, thank you for keeping us on track. Anatomy. What are we saying for anatomy? Serena's saying D. Do you agree with Serena? Do you disagree with Serena? What can you tell me? Number one, D. Dan saying D as well. What else have we got? And I'm trying to pull up my slides here. Anybody else want to give it a guess? Give it a go? I'm sure it's D. Okay, anatomy, D. The study of body parts and how they were put together. And this is definitely something that Leonardo took very seriously, where he studied the insides of human bodies, and he tried to take a look and see exactly the anatomy, draw it, try to, there's this famous sketch of the baby in the mother's womb. So he was fascinated with anatomy. Fascinated with anatomy, or fascinated by, same. Okay, Carmen, absolutely. So everybody, 1C, 2D, 3, curiosity. Curiosity. And I love this word because I am it. I'm very curious. So Serena, you're going with A, okay? And I keep losing my things here, so I'm going to try to, here we go, 3. Okay, so 3A, everybody's going with A. Okay, so curiosity, 3A, a strong desire to learn and know something. So I think to be like a form of intelligence is really to be a curious person. When you want to know things, then you are a curious person. So curious is the adjective, and to have curiosity, that is a noun, that is something that one can simply have. All right. Masterpiece. And probably so far these words are pretty easy for you, I guess, I'm thinking. So for Dan's going with B, Serena as well. Okay, so masterpiece for B, a great work of art or something done with great skill. So the Mona Lisa is a masterpiece. The Sistine Chapel is a masterpiece. Michelangelo, though, I think. I heard something. Maybe you know this too. Let me know. But I heard that Michelangelo was actually not very attractive and kind of not hygienic. That Leonardo da Vinci, we have like these paintings or drawings of him from when he was older, and he didn't look very well dressed, and he looked kind of scruffy. And but evidently Leonardo da Vinci was a handsome man. This is what I heard a while ago. I don't know if this is true. Maybe you have heard this, maybe you haven't, that actually Leonardo da Vinci, he was handsome, he was pretty good looking, and Michelangelo was he needed a shower. Not spreading rumors here, but this is something that I heard a while back. Polymath is new to me. And you have also a person who knows a lot of languages is a polyglot. So I thought that would be kind of fun to throw that in as well. A glot, Glot. Okay, last but not least, 5, a polymath, a person who knows many different subjects. So he definitely was that. From all of the people that we're talking about for this week, he was definitely probably the biggest polymath that we have on our program. Okay, so let's see. So let me remove this for a second and pull up a banner, and let's see. And the color is better today, right? I'm not so blending in with the wall, I think. I have no idea what happened yesterday, but I was kind of a ghost. All right. Da Vinci was a polymath. If there was a skill which you could be an expert at, like he was, is there a skill that you wish that you could be an expert at? A polymath, same as linguistic. That's polyglot. Linguistic, thank you for asking. I'll write it. Polyglot. Polyglot. Doop. There you go. That's the person who can speak a lot of languages or knows a lot of languages, is fluent in many languages. So in this case here, is there a skill you wish you could be an expert at like he was? What can you tell me? Da Vinci, what is it that you would like to be good at? I think the women are curiosity by logic. Okay, I don't know. I think Peter's very curious too. So we run around in our little curious bubble. I think it's an attitude, you know? If you want to know things, if you just are so interested in the world and people around you, I'm not so sure it's a gender thing, Mohammed. Personal opinion. Anyway, so which skill would you like to have? Would you like to be an amazing painter or an inventor? Or would you like to be a sculptor or maybe a singer? Or Yuki, a dancer, since you wanted to dance in the French court? What is it that you could tell me that you would love to be able to do extremely well? What can you tell me? Any ideas out there that you would like? I think it'd be really cool to be an inventor. I think it would be so great. I have so many ideas of things I'm like, this doesn't exist and it should. And so Peter, we call it my $1 million idea. I always think ideas, plural, because I have them at least once a week. And so I have these things that I think are amazing, but I have no idea how to make them. So I just have his sarcasm going, oh, great, here's another $1 million idea. But yeah, one day. Let's see. I appreciate him for the inventions. Yeah, I think the inventions are super cool. Have you heard about the tourist who was attacked by a lion? No, Gracie, what happened? When? Where? Definitely his skill with art that shows emotions. I'm going to try to get my cheater here so I don't have to lean over so much. Nope. That's not going to work. Here we go. Okay. So I would like to be a voiceover. You'd like to do voice work? Oh, fun. Dancer, Yuki. Here comes the French court. You can time travel and go there and do all the dances. So, okay. So anyway, so that's just kind of a fun little thing to think about for a second in regards to Leonardo. And this thing always moves. So let's see. Okay, so I have a couple of idioms to add to in regards to Leonardo. Let me remove this and add some idioms. Okay, so we need number 3, I think. Nope, 4. And I need to move over here. Okay. So idioms, ahead of one's time, a stroke of genius. And I'm going to guess that some of these are new. Hello to you. Hey, Josh. Wonderful. Welcome to our lesson. The tourist died in Africa when he was going from his tent to the bathroom. When was that? You have, oh my gosh, I have to Google that because that's something that always scares me when we go to Africa and we go on safari because you really are one with the nature. We had the situation when we were in Africa in March, that we were at dinner, and then you never are allowed to go to your camp, to your tent alone. You always have to have a guide who has a flashlight and makes sure that everything is okay. But we were heading downstairs with our guide to go back to our room, and a huge hippo just came walking through our camp because everything is open. So I always wondered, surely things like this happen. That's horrible. Oh, Gracie, I have to Google that. That's horrible. So yes, I can help. Please, can you help me? What does I swallow? I don't know. Ah, really? Oh, you're very cute, Josh. So let me see how to get rid of you. Anyway, delete that. So let's see. So ahead of one's time, a stroke of genius, put on your thinking cap, and the sky's the limit. So hold on one second. Okay. So we have someone kind of being rude. Sorry about that. So to put on your thinking cap and the sky's the limit. Here are the definitions. To start thinking seriously about a problem, having ideas or skills better than others at the time, a sudden brilliant idea or action. There are no limits to what can be achieved. Okay. So let's see. What does ahead of one's time mean? So I think the tourist died in Africa when he was going from his tent to the bathroom. Ay, ay, ay. Oh, that's so horrible. I will Google that after. Or if you have the information to that, please send it to me on Instagram. I'm very, I hope it's no place that we were. Poor man. That's horrible. It's truly horrific. So 1B, 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 I'm sure it's B. So ahead of one's time, having ideas or skills better than others at that time. Exactly. So Leonardo da Vinci was definitely ahead of his time. He thought of planes, he thought of tanks, he thought of all kinds of weapons and ideas that nobody was thinking about during that time. He was ahead of his time. Maybe you can tell me someone else that you can think of that was ahead of their time. We have a stroke of genius. So number 2, a stroke of genius. 1 was B, having ideas or skills better than the others at that time, ahead of their time. A stroke of genius. So 2C, I think that says, my cheater. 2C. All right. So Yuki's saying C. I don't know any of these. Okay, good, good, good. I love that. I mean, needs to be a little bit of a balance. It's good when I know this. I'm always happy to know when words are new, because then I will try to repeat them in a couple of weeks if it makes sense, so that we use them again and again to make them stick. I know how it is learning a foreign language. I live in Germany. If I hear a word one time, it's like, and then out the other ear. So we need to repeat things. So I love knowing when something is new for you. I will then try to incorporate it, or something that you like, and then I try to incorporate it again. And I try to do that with the vocab words, that sometimes there's something new, sometimes we're repeating. Maybe it's even words that you probably should know or do know, but it's always good to repeat these things because it kind of makes things stick. It makes them on the surface, Okay, we have a lot of people saying 2 is C. All right, so then let's see. A stroke of genius, C, a sudden brilliant idea or action. Exactly. So a stroke of genius is the sudden idea of how to do something. And yeah, there we go. All right, number 3, put on your thinking cap. Put on your thinking cap. Let's get to work. What can you say with that? Put on your thinking cap. So 3 is A. Okay, Dan, you're very fast today, and Serena too. 3 is A. So to put on your thinking cap, to start thinking seriously about a problem. So with my son, he wants to move to Dubai, and he needs to have a lot of money on his bank account before he moves. So he needs to put on his thinking cap to try to figure out how he can earn more money quickly. So, yeah. So to put on your thinking cap, you sit down, you brainstorm, you try to come up with solutions to problems. And last but not least, the sky's the limit. I'm surprised you don't know this one. The sky's the limit, which is I think that is D. There are no limits to what can be achieved. Exactly. The sky's the limit. Whatever you dream, do. Try it. The sky's the limit. You can't, you can go as far as you want. The sky is the limit. I only know number 4. Okay, cool. I love this. This is good. Ahead of one's time. Leonardo da Vinci was ahead of his time. A stroke of genius, when you have a great idea, if somebody tells you something that they came up with like this, then that's a stroke of genius. Wow, you came up with that. That's so cool. Put on your thinking cap. Put on your thinking cap. Figure it out. Everybody knows these. No. I think that Dan also says number 4 is new as well. Is the only one. So good. We will have some that we will repeat when it makes sense. Maybe if we're talking about fashion, none of these will really work so well. But yeah, anyway. So yeah. But I love repeating things, even if they're ones that we already know. I really do feel like, it's one thing to know something and have it sort of somewhere back here in your recessive memory. And it's another thing to have it right here in front of us. And so sometimes repeating things we already know is also good. While you are alive, the sky is the limit. Exactly. That's the right attitude, Gracie. Exactly. 1 and 2 are new. Okay. Ahead of one's time and whatever the other one was. I'm not sure what that was. Okay. No, I don't know. I tried to guess. Okay, good. Super. And, it's not really a competition here. We're all kind of learning together. But everybody's kind of at the same level. So that makes things very convenient, I have to say. All right. So let's see. We're going to move on. I just don't want to. Uh-oh. This is frozen. Let me see here. My notes have frozen. Let me go out again. Ay. Okay. I don't know, maybe I kind of leaned on them too much. Okay, we're going to restart my iPad. And then we'll see. I'm going to pull up number 5. And if we need to go back and do something else, then we will. No big deal. So, all right. Which invention changed the world the most, would you say? And so you can answer this. You can put an answer on here that is not one of these answers, but I would also like to kind of know why you answer the way that you do. So is it A, the printing press, so Johannes Gutenberg, B, the light bulb, Thomas Edison, which I think technically he kind of just evolved. There's a little bit of controversy with that. I think a lot of people were working on a light bulb. Or C, telephone, Alexander Graham Bell, or D, airplane, the Wright brothers. Well, yeah, okay, that was still that. So which one do you think changed the world the most? Maybe you have something different. I have one on here that I think changed things a lot in a way, but it's kind of a strange one. So yeah, let's hear what you have to say first. It's not on this list. So if you want to add something that's not on this list, please feel free to do so. And my notes are working again. So that's a nice thing that we can be on track here. Okay. So I'll go with C because it makes communication more convenient. Definitely. B, so again, B because without energy, Neither of these would work. Okay. Okay. I think light bulb. I love the printing press invent, but I love the printing press. And for me, I'm going to say, in particular, for women, the washing machine was a very important invention because it used to take an incredible amount of time to wash clothing. And with the invention of a washing machine, then you could just throw things in and you had a lot of other time potentially to also go and work. So all of these household inventions, I feel also sort of freed women in society. You can let me know if you agree or what you think. Hey, Karina. I think the printing press, because of all the rest were built on it. I hope it is clear. That makes sense. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Because you had to be able to share information with people that came through books. So yeah, I see where you're going with that. Totally. Let's see. I think D. Okay. Airplane. I find it interesting how a plane flies. Besides, it made it easier and faster to go from one continent to the other. Karina, you're saying light bulb as well. I think that's the most popular answer, light bulb. Okay. Just was curious to hear what you had to say about that. And we will pop out of this right now and move on to our next banner. Yes, number 2. Okay. So, what does the saying, history is written by the victors, mean? And do you agree with this? Can you think of some examples? And we talked about this yesterday in our live stream. So for those of you who were there yesterday, we talked about this, that history is written by those who actually win, right? The losers don't get to write history. It's the winners that do. And D. Okay, you're saying and D. I have to see what D is. Airplane. Okay. Totally agree with me. Okay, so you mean with women being freed with household inventions, with a vacuum, with a washing machine, with a dishwasher, all of these things have made refrigeration probably too, have made life easier for women to be able to move out of the house and to move into the workforce if they want. So history is written by the victors. Do you agree with this? Can you think of some examples? The example that I used yesterday was with Marie Antoinette. Horrible, horrible, horrible things are said about her, are written about her. She did not really win. Her head came off with a guillotine. So she did not really have a choice. And many things were said about her that for me don't seem very realistic. So yeah, unfortunately, I agree with it. We hope that is not the case, but it is. I totally agree. Without household inventions, I would have gone crazy and been dead. Choco, that's dramatic, and I understand that. Let's throw some drama in here. All right, I agree. I think the wheel is the most successful invention in the 18th century. Give us transportation quickly and meeting people in America, communication and deals, and so on. Okay, Dan, in my opinion, history is written by the victors because they will be the testament about things, the way that things happened. Exactly, right? And they make themselves look amazing and the others not so much, which I find interesting, I have to say, when we talk about Cleopatra, because ultimately she did not win. She lost, but really nice things are said about her. So normally you would think they would be like, she was stupid, she was ugly, she couldn't, everybody hated her. But actually, people say she was really beautiful, she was intelligent. So I don't understand whoever her public relations expert was. They're really good. They spun her in a positive way because usually you get presented as being a beast. Let's see. I think history is manipulated by powerful people. I add history was written by the men too, not by women. Yeah, that's very true as well. As news, like news as well. I think you mean like news as well. I think. I'm not sure. But I think this is interesting. For me, Marie Antoinette definitely falls in this character where she is painted in a way that feels slightly unrealistic, that she defeated an army, that she committed incest with her son. Really? I mean, come on. I don't know. So, yeah, history can be told from different perspectives for sure, right? There's never one side of history, for sure. Innovation comes to resolve situations. Yes. Okay, Mohammed, I think you're watching this a little bit delayed. I don't know. Okay, so let's see. So let me get rid of our banner and move on to our next point. And we're moving on. Okay, we're moving ahead in time from Da Vinci. All right. Back in time for us, of course, because this is a historical figure. Let me remove this. And let's see. Let me add, which one? Number 6. And we're going to brainstorm now about Queen Elizabeth I. So not Lizzie, not Charles's mom. We're going way back in time, way back in time to 1533 to 1603. Actually, what time was? Yes. Okay. So they were actually alive at the same time. 1533, she was born. No. Oops. Okay. No. I'm mixing this up. All right. And he died in 1519. So no, they were not alive at the same time, but around the same time. What do you know about Queen Elizabeth I? Anything that you can think about? I hated to study history at school because I wasn't sure if it was the truth. I hear you, right? Like I had this art teacher, this history of art. It was so amazing because this teacher, he was just this guy who he was born to be a teacher. There was nothing else this man could do as well as being a teacher because he just had this in his DNA. And he was one of these teachers that would paint a picture of a painting. And the way he did this was, Serena, he would give you the dirt. You would know the good stuff that was going on, the bad stuff that was going on, all of just the different stuff that like made this artist create this piece of work. And so it made things come alive. And I wish that I had had a teacher like this in high school for actually every subject. When you have teachers that can make things come alive, you still don't know if it's the truth or not, because like we said, history is created by the victors and or written by, but still, to have this feeling of like, aha, this is what's going on. All right, so let's see. I saw the movie A Powerful Woman. Did you see the movie? Who was the actress? Years and years and years and years ago, in the 90s, I want to say. The late 90s. Was it Kate something? Kate, who was it? I don't know. Do you know which movie I'm talking about? Or maybe you saw a different one. But I saw one about her a long, long time ago. It was really good. She was the daughter of Anne Boleyn, exactly, one of Henry Tudor's wives who got beheaded or killed. I don't know if she was beheaded. But yes, Anne Boleyn's daughter. Other things about her. Anybody know anything else? Otherwise, I will help you learn some other things. She is called the Virgin Queen, meaning that she supposedly never had relations with a man. Not sure about that. But she never got married. She never had children. She spoke multiple languages fluently, including Latin and Greek. Yuki, great queen of the United Kingdom. Okay. She led England during the defeat of the Spanish Armada. She survived plots against her. So a plot is when you have people ganging up on you. They want to do something bad to you. You plot something, you plan something. Actually, better word is plan. Plan to do something bad. Let's plot this and do something negative. So People were trying to overthrow her. There was all kinds of drama. She had her cousin, Mary, Queen of Scots, executed. And she was severely against Catholics. So she was against Catholics. Yeah, she was a very big patron of the arts. So a person who supports somebody is a patron. Patron. Maybe you've heard this on YouTube or on different things that you listen to. If you listen to them in English, there's a website or a platform called Patreon, where if you want to support someone, you can. I follow this couple in Sweden, and they live off the grid, and it's my guilty pleasure. So like, I don't watch it for 6 months, and then I watch like 10 episodes, and it's this couple with their child, and they raise sheep, and they do everything with very little. And for me, it's so beautiful and so relaxing. So it's my guilty pleasure. So after 2 years, I decided to become a patron to support them with €1 a month. Anyway, like the plot of a movie. Right. Yes. Good way of seeing that, Gracie. Thank you. Queen Elizabeth had to adopt a special way of applying makeup and dressing in order to command respect and display her divinity before the people. I heard also she had rotting teeth, that she loved sugar. So all of her teeth were like black and falling out. History is written 2 times. First, it is written by who wins, and second by the other leader, or who dies, regardless who wins or trusted the historian. Okay, written after who dies. And I think history is also very interesting because it changes with the modern times. What is considered not politically correct today, maybe 15 years ago, was seen historically as being correct. Like, as an example, I come from the United States, as you all know. I grew up in the South. In the South, you will see lots and lots of statues of Confederate soldiers. So during the time of the Civil War, and I would walk past these things and not think anything. I mean, nothing. But nowadays we know that's actually not okay. And so now, there's a big movement to remove these items because history today, or the present history, has said that the past history, or the present, let's say this, the present has decided that the past is not really culturally where we are today. So it also kind of changes. I find that fascinating and important, that we don't just hang on to things because we do, that we have some sort of idea about stuff. So yeah, anyway. So anybody know anything else about Queen Elizabeth? So her mom, Anne Boleyn, was executed in 1536. Elizabeth was only 2.5 years old. And then they said that when she died, she was illegitimate. So we have that word again. Leonardo was illegitimate, and then illegitimate. I need spell check on here. Illegitimate. Hold on, let me write that. Illegitimate. Okay. So they said that she was illegitimate, that she was actually not the king's daughter, not that she was born somehow. So she went from being, the queen's daughter to being, who are you? You are no one. And then at the time, despite this, she eventually became one of England's most famous monarchs. I guess her mother, who was probably planning lots of things and wanting to have a child to be on the throne, that she was probably happy at some point with her daughter. Okay, vocabulary related to Queen Elizabeth, and I think at least 2 words are going to be new for everyone. So curious to see what you have to say. Let's see where we're going with this. I keep hitting weird things on here. All right, let me grab our slide. Sorry about that. Remove from studio. Let's add some words. Maybe you have some words you would like to add for Queen Elizabeth, words that you think might be on this list. Let's see. I think it was 7. Yes. Okay. Nope. Oh, I have to move myself. There we go. All right. So we have number 1, shrewd. Number 2, airless. Now, this is one of these weirdo English words where there is clearly an H there, but we do not pronounce it. So airless, airless, airless. You have heirloom, airless, cautious, legacy, cautious. Let me repeat that again. Cautious, cautious, and there's a sh sound. Cautious, legacy, persuasive. Definitions, we have A, not having a child to take over your title, money, or position. B, very good at making people agree with you. I wish I had that skill. We have C, thinking carefully to avoid danger or mistakes. D, a smart and clever person, especially in making decisions. E, something you leave behind or are remembered for after you are gone. Yuki, what do you have to say? Maybe her neck color is too high to kiss. That's why she didn't get married to anyone. Yeah, maybe. Or maybe it was her rotting teeth. I don't know. Okay, so which one do you think works best? All right, Dan's on it. 1, shrewd. What can you tell me? Any other guesses here for the first word? And then we're going to slowly move on to another person. 1, D. Anybody else guessing? Let's see. I hope I do not just erase. Okay, D, everybody's saying D. Okay, Alessio as well. Okay, so here we go. So 1, shrewd, D. A smart and clever person, especially when making decisions. A shrewd. We hear this often like with a shrewd businessman, a shrewd leader. I think it sounds very negative, but it's actually kind of neutral or kind of like, because you can be clever, but kind of in a manipulative way. I'm only going to guess 1D. It's a new vocabulary. All good. Super. It's just a fun thing to do. We're all just guessing and learning together. So it's never really a right or wrong. Okay, let's move on to airless, please. What can you tell me? Number 2, airless. Which one do you think? If you know the word heirloom, that will help you out. I would say negative. Yeah, shrewd. I find it also very negative sounding, but she's shrewd. She's a shrewd businessman, business person or businessman or woman. Yeah, but evidently it's more kind of neutral. 2, okay, Dan's going with A. Anybody else agreeing? Serena is saying A. Okay, other guesses here that we've got? 2A. All right, so guessing, I will just let you know. So airless is A, not having a child to take over your title or position. So Queen Elizabeth was airless. She did not have children to take over her title or her position. And an heirloom, I will write it, is something that you pass down. So an heir, you can pass down a ring or you can pass down a painting, something that is often sentimental, of worth, of value, and you hand this down to someone else when you are no longer around. That is an heirloom. Heirloom. So they're closely related somehow. The way Queen Elizabeth dressed and wore, okay, that was that, wore her makeup was meant to simulate that she was a divinity. That she was divine. Okay. Someone no man could approach or distract her from her role. Okay. And I would guess back in that day and age, you needed all the makeup and spiky collars that you could get to try to propel yourself and to make yourself be something larger than life so you would be taken seriously. And if you think about it, I mean, her dad, Henry VIII, I mean, that must have been a very turbulent time with things coming and going and him marrying 8 women and killing, I think, 2 of them. So, there was not like it was, she wasn't safe. She wasn't secure. It wasn't like Queen Elizabeth II, whose father passed away, and she just slid into that role and it was fine. So yeah, it makes sense that she would use clothing, makeup, and these kinds of things. And I'm not married to anyone. I'm my own person. So she could keep authority. So, okay. Lizette's going with A, I guess, because of less. Okay. All right. Because of the less, without. Yeah. Good guess. Good deduction skills. Super. The monarch crowns are heirlooms. Exactly. They are heirlooms. They are passed down from one generation to the next. So, all right. 2 we said was A. Yes. Not having a child and money or title. What about 3? Cautious. What can you tell me with number 3? Cautious. 3, everybody's saying C so far. Lorena and Dan and Serena. Okay, so cautious, thinking carefully to avoid danger or mistakes. Cautious. So she had to be cautious because she did not want to lose her head. Right. Okay. Number 4, legacy, a word we have had a lot now. I will take this one away. We've had it so many times now. So legacy, what can you tell me works best with number 4, legacy? Something you leave behind or are remembered for after you're gone. Exactly. And last but not least, number 5, persuasive. Number 5 is B. Yes. Number 4 is E, and 5 is B, being very good at making people agree with you. So she was probably a very persuasive person to be able to stay in power and keep control and become one of England's most famous rulers. So, all right, let's see. Moving on. And what have I got for you? Yeah. Hello. Yeah. So let's see. Let me move on to our banner, our next banner, and that's number 3. All right. So what challenges do you think that she faced as a female ruler in a male-dominated world? Now, you've already talked a little bit about this. So if you would like to add some more to this, then please feel free to do so. I would think it probably was very tough. I think people were very superstitious back then too. Like if you believe in a black cat, then you know that will bring you bad luck. That is superstitious. Superstitious. So I think people were superstitious, maybe superstitious of women. Didn't really trust them necessarily. So what kind of challenges do you think that she faced as a female ruler in a male-dominated world? If you want to add anything to that, we touched a little bit on that already. So if I don't see people answering, no biggie, we'll move on. I think that already, I think it was Lorraine, I can't remember who exactly said that she, hold on, let me find that. Oh, that was Karina, sorry. Karina, you said that that she wore clothing the way that she did in order to make sure that she was taken seriously and to be seen as divine. I know that ladies back then would wear lead-based paint, and that made them very sick. Lead. That makes your skin really white. But lead is also what you find in pencils when you write. Um, so she used lead-based paint, which I think can cause the skin to get irritated as well. So anybody want to add any changes? Not so sure. You're more than welcome to do so. Because we talked about this a little bit already, sort of organically, I will continue on. Oh, actually, what challenges do you think she faces? Okay, no, I don't know what I have here. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I have in this area here, but I have different stuff here that's actually does not apply to her at all. Let's move on to a mistake and do something different. So let me remove this slide here. Oops, sorry. Remove. And we need number 8. Okay, so Queen Elizabeth the First has killed her cousin Mary, Queen of Scots. What is our mistake? I think people thought she couldn't lead because of being very young. Was she very young when she entered the throne or came onto the throne? I'm not sure how old she was. Let me look it up and see how old she was. In the meantime, fix the mistake. What can you tell me? Let me ask our bot friend here. How old was Elizabeth? Not Amelia. Elizabeth the First when she came on to the throne. Throne is where she sits. Had killed. Okay. Any other guesses? So Queen Elizabeth was 25, the first when she came to the throne. She became queen following the death of her half sister Mary the First. Yeah, she ruled for 44 years. The principle to get respect in the world of men. Okay, Scottish. Okay. So, okay, could be Scottish, could be that. All right. Any other guesses that you can think of? Scots? Okay, good. Oh, we have a good one then. All right. Okay, so let's see. So anybody else want to take a guess? It's going to take me a second here to remove this and to add our new slide. Nothing has killed but killed. Ding, 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 ding. Hitoko super killed her cousin. Can you tell me why? Tell me why. No, okay. What can you tell me? Why is that the case? Past simple, exactly, Lizette, right? Because has killed, maybe she's going to kill some more. When we use the present perfect, it's this tense where it's unfinished. So like this week, this month, this year, it started in the past. Now it's June. It started in January, but we still have July, August, September. So it's one of these situations where it's unfinished time. But she's no longer with us. She's not been with us for a long time. So it is finished time. So therefore, simply killed. And I am trying to, here we go. Let me remove this real quick and I have a little answer for us to share it with you visually. I always need to see things. So let's see. Okay. Because it's something that was done, started, and finished in the past. Exactly. So Queen Elizabeth I has killed her cousin Mary, Queen of Scots. Incorrect. Queen Elizabeth killed her cousin Mary, Queen of Scots. Why? Because we use the simple past instead of the present perfect because of the event happened in the past. And this is a mistake a lot of people make and when they're speaking English. Everything that is finished You're simply going to use the simple past. I don't know how it is for you in your language, but in Germany, they use the simple past in a different way. They often say has eaten, has spoken, has driven. They use that structure. So for a lot of times for German people, it's really difficult to unlearn that and to think in English we don't do it that way, that we really honor these two different times pretty well. You know, if you can get this, it's a good thing to understand. So if this is something that you have difficulty with, this is called the simple past verse present perfect. Just to put it up there for you. So if you have issues with this, this is what it's called. You can take a look. I would ask ChatGPT to come up with some good examples for you, create a little test, and maybe test it with yourself for a week or so, just to kind of get it up to par. Anyway, let's see. Okay, so that was our little mistake to correct. And now we're moving on to a new soul. We've got a new historical figure. And let me see here. Oh, I think I'll just stay here and remove that and add number 10. In the north of Italy, it's the same. We use present perfect instead of, okay. So it's even a geographical thing in northern Italy. That's so interesting. Okay. I would have thought it's just an Italian thing and not like a northern Italian thing. Oh yeah. Okay. So in English, we really do stick very, very closely with that. And so I like to review that kind of thing because it is sometimes a bit of a brain teaser. So we have a new fella. Actually, yeah, going further back in time. So we're not really like sticking true to like a timeline here. We're just kind of going with the flow. Also in Argentina. Okay, so this is a good thing to practice, you know, every once in a while, just go, okay, simple past, present perfect. What are the rules? And just talk yourself through it. If it's finished time, I'm just going to use the simple past. If it's unfinished time, I can use have or has in the past participle. And so just kind of play with it a little bit. But you know me, I don't focus so much on grammar. I like us to be able to just communicate. So yeah, I try to throw these things in so that we have them as a bit of a review, but we won't focus on it. All right, moving on. What do you know about Genghis Khan? What can you tell me about this man? Any idea when he lived, where he lived, what he's famous for? Why do people still talk about him? What is his deal? What can you tell me? Excuse me. Genghis Khan. What can you tell me? And I'm going to pour a little bit more water here. Okay, comments not coming in. Anything that you know about him? I have some facts. Maybe you don't know him. You could tell me if you don't know him as well. That would be an option too, to let me know kind of where we stand on this individual. It was hard to find a photo of him or a graphic of him. Mongolian king, okay. He was a conqueror. Ooh, very good word. So someone who takes over other lands and people and whatnot is a conqueror. Conqueror. It's kind of a word. The king of Mongolia. Okay. So we know about him. That's a good thing. Anybody else want to add anything about Genghis Khan? He lived in 1162 to 1277 in Mongolia. No idea. Okay, Gracie, no stress. He built a vast empire. And in fact, I took a picture. I have to see if I can find it because I was curious to see what all he conquered. Here we go. Okay, so you are not going to believe how much land this man conquered. All right, so everything that's in color with like a green border, that is all the land that he conquered. So huge, vast areas of Asia and of Europe, parts of Europe as well. He is the man who, I think that he had conquered the most land ever. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that one. I don't know. But yes, what else? Okay, so other things that I can tell you about him. Listen, he created the largest land empire in world history. So no one has been a better fighter, conqueror than this gentleman here. He promoted religious tolerance across many cultures. So I guess when he invaded a culture, he allowed people to believe whatever they wanted to believe. So it's kind of similar, I think, to the Romans to a certain extent. He built a postal system. He took census, so he tracked where people were and what they were doing and how many people lived in a household. And he also created legal code. So he wrote laws. He rose from being an outcast. So again, we have a guy here who, like, everybody said he's a loser. Who is this guy? To becoming, yeah, to the head of the tribal society. An outcast is a person, dang it, I keep clicking something here and it scrolls up. An outcast, that's correct. An outcast is someone who is kind of a loser. He's not in society. He's outside of society. Nobody respects him. Nobody wants to hear what he has to say. And this man rose to power and then conquered so many lands that he was able to have the title of having conquered the most land in the world, or ever. Okay, hold on. We did that yesterday. That was yesterday. And let's see. Okay. All right. Other things that I can tell you. Somehow they have figured out through genetic studies that he has millions and millions of descendants today. So people who have his ancestry, I guess predominantly in Asia. I'm not sure. He revolutionized military tactics and governing. So when he would conquer places, how to control or how to handle them. He was criticized because China, I think China, yeah, I can show you the map again in just a second. In parts of India, lots of places, parts of Europe. He was criticized because he was very brutal. Mass killing, so destruction of cities. In some cultures, this is interesting. So in some cultures, he's seen as a ruthless invader, and in others, he's a hero. So, and a person who unified people. So this is one of these people in history where it's not black and white. There are shades of gray as to whether he's good or bad. So this is the area here. You can see he goes up to the Arabian Peninsula. He's in Persia. He's in Tibet. He is in Korea, China, of course. Here, I will plop that up so you can see. I hope that's the right way around. So all of that area there, he conquered. There was also parts of parts of Russia. I thought Europe too, but I guess not. Maybe not Europe. But so he's one of these figures where it's not easy to say good or bad. It depends on who you ask. So let's learn some vocabulary. One word we already have that's a great word to learn, but this will be easy. And let's see. We need number 11. Okay. And let's see, he created the Silk Road from connecting east to west. Probably, I have no idea. You're probably right about that. Yeah, I can imagine that's the case. And so then there's like this thing where it's kind of like, he did also good things. He did horrible things. He did good things. So number 1, conquer. Number 2, empire. Number 3, nomadic. 4, tribe. 5, invade. Our vocabulary definitions that we've got here are to enter a place by force with an army. B, a group of people from the same culture, often with shared ancestors. C, moving from place to place without a permanent home. D, Alessia's already on it. Thank you, dear. D, to take control of land or people by force. And E, a group of countries or regions ruled by one leader or government. So number one, Alessia was saying is D. Anybody else have the same answer or want to say something else? What can you tell me? Number one, conquer. And it's a real conquer. It's a weird sounding word. Now that I think about it, conquer. To conquer something. So everybody's saying D, exactly. One, to take control of a land or people. So he conquered a lot of area in Asia. Nobody's perfect. Yeah, I guess, exactly, Karina. All right, number two, empire. What can you tell me? Alessia's saying two is E. He's on the ball here. So is Serena. Do we have any other guesses? Another E, perhaps, or something different? So for empire. Lorena saying E as well. Okay, so a group of countries or regions ruled by one leader or government. So an empire, the Roman Empire. It's a speedy race. I know. Nomadic. All right, Yuki, you got in there too. Good for you. A nomadic. What is that? What do we think for number three? Serena was first this time with C. Any other guesses for nomadic? Okay, everybody's saying C. So moving from place to place without a permanent home. So being nomadic. So this was a nomadic tribe. They moved to different areas depending on the year, and then they would set up camp and then move on to the next. So then we have, let's see, tribe. Are any of these words new? Conquer we've had, empire, nomadic, I don't know. So let me know if any of the words are new or not. And answer, please. Number four, tribe. What can you tell me? Jen, thank you for the lesson. I've got to run to a doctor's appointment. I hope you're okay, Lizette, sweetie. I hope your appointment goes well. Thank you for stopping by and being here this whole time. So four, Lorena's saying B, Yuki's saying B, Serena's saying B. All right. Tribe, B, a group of people from the same culture, often with shared ancestors. The Mongolian, I guess, tribe. I guess it was a tribe. I don't know. Again, I am not a historian. I don't know these things. But yes, a tribe of people. And last but not least, have a great day. Last but not least, five, invade. Alessia is saying A, to enter a place by force with an army. Exactly, to invade a land, invade a country. People can also invade your personal space. You know, there's always these people that like to stand like this and talk to you. And so that's invading your personal space. All right, that's good. So you can use it like that as well. All right, Carmen, I don't know which answer that's for. I'm not sure. Five was invade, was A, to enter a place by force with an army or personal space. So let's move on to a trivia question about Genghis Khan. All right, because I thought this was kind of cool. All right. So let's see. Three was C. Yes, exactly, Karina. Three was C. Oh, you're helping Carmen. Thank you. All right, so let's see. Number 12. And here we go. All right. Oops. There we go. How long did it take for the Mongols? Okay, so the people from the tribe, the Mongols, like the Scots from Scotland, the Mongols, to grow from a small group of warriors into a huge empire that would ultimately have the biggest landmass that the world has ever known, conquered the biggest landmass the world has ever known. 180 years, 120, or 80 years? What are you thinking? What do you think? Four was B. Yes, thank you, Karina. Exactly. Four was B. So let's use saying 80 years. Okay. Optimistic answer. Any other answers? How long did it take? What do you think for this small group to become such a massive force that they were able to conquer so much land? I would guess too that you have no idea. Okay, no worries. I would also think that because he was such a great leader and had such great ideas with how to conquer people and organize people, maybe you don't even need that big of an army. I don't know. So 180. Okay, Yuki's going with A. Lorena's going with C. So the answer is actually C. It only took Genghis Khan. Well, that seems like a long time, actually. I don't know really how long he lived. Hold on. Let's see how long he lived. Things are starting to not add up. Can somebody do the math? He lived from 1162, so 1162 to 1227. That's five. Okay. So after his death, it seems that they continued to expand. It was not just under his rule because he did not live for 80 years. So anyway, but it took them 80 years to amass this big tribe, or to amass the amount of people that they could to conquer so much. So at the Mongolian Empire, at its height, it included 12.7 million square miles. That's over 20% of the world's land mass that the Mongols once had control over. I find that so interesting because I personally know very little about Genghis Khan, and it shows you how we humans are so impermanent. People who are so important today, tomorrow, probably not. I don't know. So I find that interesting. I find that somehow very kind of nice, kind of freeing that history is not forever written a specific way. All right, moving on to a nice, very peaceful person. As I promised yesterday that we were going to talk about Gandhi. So anything that you can think of that you would like to add about Mahatma Gandhi, then please go ahead and write it now. Let me know anything and everything that you happen to know about him. Karina, the answer was actually C, 80 years. So what do you know about Mahatma Gandhi? What do you know about him? Anything that you can think of, where he lived, when he lived, what he's known for, any sort of information like that, go ahead and let me know. What can you tell me? I'm going to plug in my phone here. I have some facts, but I want to give you a chance to be able to answer first. Here we go. What do you know about Mahatma Gandhi, or just Gandhi? Let's just say Gandhi. With these live streams, after a while, my voice just goes, I don't think so. So Indian leader. Okay, good. Thank you, Yuki. Too much effort for only human mortal being. Yes. So I guess he gave a lot of effort, is what you want to say. He was a pacifist, and I love this word, Lorena. Thank you for using this. I think we had this earlier today or yesterday. A pacifist, a person who looks for peace. We also have this as a verb, to pacify. So in babies, this little thing, that is a pacifier. It soothes the person. It makes them calm. And you can pacify someone when someone is crying. You can hold them and say, it's going to be all right. And you try to pacify them. And a person who looks for peace, who tries to make sure that everything is calm and smooth and equal in a way, I guess, is a pacifist. In India, fighting for Indian rights. Okay, good. So interesting stuff that I learned about him. He studied law and worked in South Africa. So he actually studied law in London, actually, and worked in South Africa. as you all said already, a pacifist, nonviolent revolution. An interesting thing, I'm surprised nobody said, let's see, he said, be the change you want to see in the world and love and believe. I love and believe the sentence. Yeah, that's a great, great quote. Love that. He's also known as a form of protest to fast. So when you fast, then you do not eat. So he is known to practice fasting. So he did not eat as a form of protesting. And I thought I had something on here. Okay, so let's see. Anything else? Deeply spiritual, but very critical of sort of religious dogma. When people said you need to believe it this way or no way, he was very critical of that. He helped to end British rule in India with being a pacifist. Anyway, he was able to do that. And he was, yeah, so he was the pioneer of this. A lot of people in the United States during the civil rights movement, they looked onto Gandhi as an inspiration for how to protest, to be peaceful, to do different things of that nature. And anything else? Yes. He created fabric. I had no idea that he created fabric. Okay, that I didn't know. Okay, Gracie, thank you. That's not on my list. Cloth. Okay, I had no idea that he did that. Okay, so those are some things about him. I have some idioms that are related to him, and then we're going to talk about ways that we can protest and different ways that we can protest or different ways to protest, and then we will say goodbye. I am too sleepy to understand English. Sleep well, sweetie. Sleep well. All right, let's see. We have idioms and one more thing, and then we are calling it a day. Let's see, 14. Okay, here are idioms. And I think yeah, okay, good. So to turn the other cheek, to walk the talk, which I think, Alessia, this is one of yours. Lead by example. Actions speak louder than words. Kill them with kindness. And maybe you can let me know if you know any of these. These are all very, very popular idioms that are used a lot in modern day English. A, to show others how to behave by your own actions. B, to respond to someone's attack without fighting back. C, being nicer to someone, even if it means, even if they are mean to you, excuse me. D, what people do is more important than what they say. And E, to do what you say you will do. Alessio has our first answer with B. Do we have people agreeing with Alessio? I was in his house in India. Now it's a museum. Oh, lucky you. Oh, that's so exciting, Gracie. Wow. All right. Okay. What was his house like? Was it big or small? I think he came from a wealthy family, I think. So, okay, Alessio was saying one is B, to turn the other cheek, which is to respond to someone's attack without fighting back. Exactly, Alessio, exactly, Lorena, same, to turn the other cheek. This is your cheek, this area here on your face. And so instead of like fighting back, you turn the other cheek, meaning that you don't fight back. 2, walk the talk. What have we got for number 2? Walk the talk. 1B, 2 is, in Italy, we have pretty similar, okay, good. I'm going to try to say it, okay? So you can laugh at my Italian. Porgi la altra, Giancia. So Alessia saying 2 is E, Lorena saying 2 is E. We'll go ahead and go through these pretty quickly. Walk the talk. E, do what you say you will do. You walk the talk. Talk the talk, walk the walk, walk the talk. All right. Not a luxury house. Okay. Thanks for sharing. 3, lead by example. To lead by example. We want to do this really with our children, to lead by example. So 1 was B, 2 is E, 3 is, what have we got? Lead by example. What can you tell me? Lead by example. 3 is A. Okay, thank you, Lorena. I'm so sorry. I appreciate my effort to speak Italian. Yeah, I'm sure your ears are bleeding. I'm very, very sorry for that. So 3 is A. All right. Lead by example is to show others how to behave by your own actions. Yes, exactly. Number 4, actions speak louder than words. This is a classic. Actions speak louder than words. There are few idioms that are more true than this, I find. Actions speak louder than words. So number 4, 1 was B, 2 is E, 3 is A, 4 is D. Exactly. What people do is more important than what they say, right? And that is so true. People talk a lot, but their actions don't match up. Look at the actions and the words, but really look at the actions. And last but not least, to kill them with kindness. So this is C, being nice to someone, even if they are mean to you, or you just kill them with kindness. You just are nice to them until they have no other reaction that they can come up with other than to kind of be nice to you as well. So 5 is C. Last question for today, and then we will say goodbye, is the following. Oops, hold on. And so, I think I need to move. Yes, I'm in the way. Move over, Jen. All right. What are some peaceful ways people can protest to bring about change? Can you think so? Like Gandhi fasted, he didn't eat. That was his peaceful form of protest, or a peaceful form of protest that he chose to do. What are some other things that people can do to protest? Obviously, rioting is not a peaceful form of protesting. When you go to the streets and you break things, not good. That's not peaceful. So, peaceful ways of protest. What are some things that you can say? I have about, I don't know, 8 different ways that people can protest in a peaceful manner. If you are upset with something in your home or in your country, that is, then what are some ways that you can protest in a peaceful way? You can fast, but I like food too much. Super. Sit-ins, love it. I think Gandhi also did sit-ins too, I want to say, right? Totally the opposite of our politicians, okay? Dialogue, yeah, communicate with each other, exactly. Like, try to find some sort of common ground for sure. Anyone have anything else? I have a couple as well. You can organize marches, you can organize rallies, hold sit-ins, as Lorena wrote, or silent demonstrations where you just sit and you're just quiet. Write letters to politicians. So you can write a letter. That's a form of peaceful protesting. It's called a hunger strike. Yeah. A hunger strike, exactly. And hunger is Hunger, just so you know, a hunger strike, exactly. Let's see, peaceful manifestations, strikes, exactly. Working long hours, okay. You can create art. You can create stuff that you put into the public, performances. You can use social media to be able to express your protest. Yeah. So I think those are all good. Thank you for sharing that. And last but not least, number 2, is there an unfair law in your country that you would like to fight? Is there something going on in your country that you wish that you could fight? What is it that you would say that you would like to fight? So something in your country. that you feel is unfair and you feel like you would like to protest? What can you tell me? Not paying taxes, okay. So you don't want to pay taxes, or there are some people that don't want to pay taxes, or not paying such high taxes. What do you mean specifically? What would you protest if you had time, energy, and what is something that should be protested in your country? I'm trying to think of what should be protested in Germany. And in the United States, whew, where do I start? But in Germany, I don't know. I'm not so sure. I have something that's kind of silly, that I think I want to protest, that in Hamburg, they really want to promote bikes. There's bike lanes. They spend so much money in offering bike lanes everywhere, which is wonderful. Not protesting that. But the thing is that there's nowhere to park your bike. You can't lock your bike anywhere, and you have to, because bikes get stolen all the time. So yeah, so they have tons of stuff for bikes, but not any place to park. So I would protest that. It's a little thing. It's a baby thing, but yeah. Retirement age. Okay, so you'd protest that. I'm so sorry I have to pick up my daughter. No problem. See you next week. Take care, everyone. And slowly but surely, we will all say goodbye. Delinquents of foreign criminals, as Trinda Araga from Venezuela. Okay, I don't know about that, Karina. I'm not so sure. I've never heard of that. So you have foreign criminals. Do foreign criminals get sent to Venezuela? I hope that's not my country. Ugh. Okay. So, folks, thank you so much for hanging out here for an hour and 40 minutes, sharing your thoughts and opinions about things. Thank you again. Like I said, you being here, it makes me so, so happy. It helps me reach my goals. So, watching this live stream, rewatching it, liking, sharing, commenting, it shows the algorithm that this is a worthy place to be. And I'm slowly but surely getting to the point where I'm going to be monetized. Woo-hoo! If I can do any of these things and see if it's going to work. No, it's not. Okay, never works when I want it to. Yeah, so the Fueros politicians have the means while they are working, they can't be judged. Okay, so the politicians in your country, when they are in power, then they cannot be held accountable, maybe, I think. Not sure. Thank you, folks. Next week, I will do a live stream with Mike. We will do The Devil Wears Prada on Ewa. And I don't know if any of you have read the book or seen the film, but I think to talk about working conditions could be a cool topic for us to do on Wednesday and as a quiz on Tuesday. So I think that that's probably what we will talk about. Our justice is not independent. Okay, it's not free, or yeah, it is slow. I hear you. Right, Alicia? Yeah. Woo-hoo. Okay. Thank you so much, folks. Have a lovely day, whatever you end up doing. And thank you for your support. Thank you. Take care. Bye.